Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Professor Spira. How to lose weight on a mucusless diet. Now, when I got into the mucusless diet, the person that introduced me to it, Brother Ehret, never really talked about weight. And I was 280 pounds, was really starting to feel quite miserable, but he never really talked about weight. And I maybe brought it up once, one of the first times that we talked about it, and he just kind of was like, you don't even have to worry about that. You don't have to focus on weight, because weight can be misleading. A lot of people that are skinny and seem to be the picture of health that end up getting strokes or suddenly dying, oftentimes they're uric acid types, which is a condition of perpetual acidosis in the body, a very acidic condition. Yet people think that they have high metabolism, so on and so forth. But I was really kind of, even though we didn't talk about it, I still had that in my head. I had always wanted to lose weight, and I tried so many different things. I had tried working out really hard. I had tried putting myself on diets. I'd even went days eating nothing but fruit just on my own without having read anything. Of course, I couldn't sustain it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to lose some weight. I took some of those diet pills and stuff, and nothing really worked. So I'd almost given up to a certain extent. And as I did that, and I stopped worrying as much about the physical reality and started to put myself in tune with more spiritual matters. Yet it didn't really fit, because on one hand I'm elevating my consciousness, and on the other hand I'm making myself sicker and sicker because I was eating worse and worse. When I went to college, my freshman year, I gained almost 30 pounds because I was about 250 when I left high school, and I gained about 30 pounds and ended up being about a little over 280. I think it's probably about as heavy as I got. I might even got a little heavier. That whole first year, as that was happening, I was starting to develop the double chin. I was kind of watching myself become obese as opposed to just being overweight, fat, or whatever. I was really, really starting to get heavy. I was uncomfortable, but I just thought there wasn't anything I could do. And the proposition of the mucusless diet gave me hope, because I read the book and I'm like, this makes all the sense in the world. Yet I knew it would be challenging, and the diet wouldn't just be challenging, but the social aspect, because part of what works in society is to take part in the eating. So if you can look good, but you're also taking part in the eating part, then you are looked upon with respect and love and embraced and all that kind of stuff. So when you are rejecting, you say, oh, I can't eat that. Well, why not? I'm trying to stop eating mucus. It becomes very challenging. But as I got into the diet, I started to notice immediately that I was shedding weight. First, I really quickly lost about 15 pounds because I started to clean up my intestines and get the 15 to 20 pounds of uneliminated fecal matter out of there. And so that immediately not only made me feel so much better, but it started the process of the weight coming off. So as I continued to transition, I would get to these periods where I would get sick, even though we would call that going through an elimination. and I'd be going through boxes of tissues, blowing my nose. All this stuff was coming out that I had been suppressing for more than 18 years. If you've ever taken Sudafed or a Tylenol or some kind of pharmaceutical medication to try to put at bay the elimination process, then there's a lot of stuff inside you that you didn't let come out. So it's gonna express itself in some way. It'll either express itself in chronic illness, or it's gonna come out. Or it'll come out later on down the road when your body is weaker because you had never let the waste leave it. So I just went with the process, and before I knew it, I had lost almost 100 pounds. And it happened within the span of 6 months, yet it was so natural that some people didn't even notice that I had lost any weight. My trombone teacher, who would see me once a week, all of a sudden after I'd lost all the weight, he asked me about it in a trombone lesson. He was like, "Did you lose some weight?" I'm like, "I've been losing weight," but it happened so naturally that a lot of people didn't even kind of notice it or realize it. They could look at me and they're like, "It's something different." The mucusless diet, if you're able to transition properly and you stay on it long enough, I can guarantee you will lose weight. And if you're too skinny and you start to clean up your gut, you'll actually gain some weight. You can gain muscle mass. A lot of uric acid types that are too skinny, there's a lot of toxicity going on. So you have to alkalize, you have to clean yourself up. And that's what the Mucusless Diet Healing System is able to do for me. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you real soon. Peace, love, and breath.